Hello, hello, hello. I think it's working. I hope so. Hey guys, I'm back. You have no idea how happy I am to be back. And what I mean by that is to have a nanny so that I can take a break to be back. I'm so glad to see you guys. Make sure you let me know where you're watching from in the comment section and just say hi in the comment section. Say hello so I can see who's here. I am so ridiculously happy to be back. I've been on maternity leave for 4 months now. Oh, actually, kind of 5 months because that last month of pregnancy, whoo, that was rough. Let me know where you're watching from in the comment section. I want to say hi to you guys. Let me say real quick, this is a Q&A, so feel free to ask any questions you have about the Eat to Live diet or the 21-day challenges in the comment section. I will answer everything I can. I'll give you some details about my life as well. Con Marie, hello. I missed you too. And you're watching from Australia. Awesome. So that must mean it's tomorrow. It must mean it's Wednesday morning-ish. Is it the morning? So good to see you. Laura, I missed you too, my dear. I missed everyone. I'm so happy to be back. And I love doing live videos on YouTube. I really missed YouTube a lot. I'm going to be publishing a video Thursday. That's my full update video. But I'll give you, Wednesday morning in Australia. Awesome. I'll give you guys some details today. The reason I wanted to do this video pop on with you guys this right now is because we're doing another 21-day challenge. It's the autumn 21-day challenge, so you'll see some seasonal yummies on there. 21-day Eat to Live Nutritarian Challenge. Recipes, meal plans, grocery lists, everything you need for 21 days of not having to think about your food. And we would really love to see you in there. There's a lot of awesome interaction from the challengers in the Facebook group, and it's just a great way to lose weight, get healthy, and learn how much to eat to not be like starved all the time and to actually get those healthy nutrients in. Tash, hello, welcome back. Maybe it's Tash, but I think it's Tosh. I'm so glad to see you. Hope you and yours are okay. Yeah, weird times, right? So weird. What happened? This year is insane. It's been very, very interesting. If you guys don't know, I'm just coming off maternity leave. I just had twins. They are doing awesome. They're going to be 4 months old in 3 days. So that's pretty exciting. They were premature. They were like 6 weeks premature. And we're just having a really good time getting to know each other and getting our sleep schedules worked out. They sleep really well. I hate to brag, but they only get up once or 0 times per night, which is crazy. But I did use a sleep program. I bought this program from a woman called Taking Care of Babies on Instagram. She's awesome, and her stuff obviously totally works. So I am sleeping really well. I hope you can see I'm kind of well rested, which is good. But now I'm trying to work again, which is wonderful. I'm so glad to be back. But I had to figure out the nanny thing first, and we're getting there. So Con Marie says, I've already done a challenge and have them all amazing. Do you think it's worth doing another one for health, not weight loss? For sure, Con Marie. Okay, here's my pitch, because there are always new recipes, as you know. Every time we put out another 21-day challenge, it's always new recipes. But the interaction that you get from the actual group is such good motivation to stay on track, right? I think that is the best way to do it. Also, the best reason to do it, you don't have to think about anything, and we just lay it out for you for 21 days. So it's great that you don't have weight loss as goal, but health, is kind of always our goal. So just staying on track and making sure we're getting a lot of nutrients, and then also adding to our kind of arsenal of recipes and different things that you can do with different vegetables and stuff is a great way to do it. So that's my pitch for you. I totally think you should do it again. Oh, let me put a link for it in the comment section too. I put one in the description, so you can go there, but there's one in the comment section too. So make sure I'm going to pin that. I didn't even know you can pin it. That's awesome. So now it should be at the top or whatever. So go there and sign up. I'd love to see you in there, Con Marie. And so lucky that they're sleeping well. I mean, really lucky. My first daughter did not sleep well for like a full year. So this is awesome. Thanks, ladies. So I want to just say, so first, okay, so we're doing the 21-day challenge. This live video is for us to just sit and talk about whatever, or it can be a Q&A about anything you might be struggling with to do with the Eat to Live diet or healthy eating, staying on track. You can ask any kind of question. I was saying this on the Facebook video a minute ago. Where do I find low sodium mustard? Or, how do I stay on track? Or this is really hard for me, or whatever. So feel free to ask any questions that you have about how to stick to healthy eating or anything like that, and I will do my best to answer them. I also have a couple of questions from somebody that they posed on the Facebook group, which I think they're really great questions. So I can answer those too if need be. Somebody says she can't believe how much my hair has grown. Yeah, I know. Me too. This is my quarantine cut. So as my hair grew out, I did a couple of cuts on it. I don't know, I just took some sections and then just like cut it. And so it's definitely a quarantine cut, but it's been growing like crazy. And Tosh says, when does the challenge start? It starts on Monday. So today's Tuesday, less than a week. Get your stuff together if you're going to get in with us. We only keep registration open for a few more days before the challenge starts because we want to be able to focus on the challengers once they're going. So you're only going to be able to get in for another few days. So get on it. And the links are there. So let's see. Deless Music says, yay, Cheri. Great to see you. So good to see you too, my dear. WS here, done many of your challenges. I'm so glad. I hope you're going to get on this one too. And hey, this is so funny, almost because these are almost the same questions. Joyce says, I'm great all day, but it's the late night snacking suggestions. Absolutely. And then Connery says, I do well all day. In the evening, I find I'm really hungry, so I'm struggling with feeling full after a meal. Any suggestions? That's hilarious. Same exact question almost. Yeah. Okay. So for Joyce, yours sounds pretty emotional, right? Pretty kind of just like that mental struggle. So it's probably likely that you have built a pattern of overeating or snacking on things at night. And so your brain thinks that's important. Your brain has learned to overeat and snack at night. And so when you stop doing it, it's like, no, 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 we have to keep doing that, right? So it's going to urge you to keep doing that in the way of cravings, hurricane thoughts, I call them. Like you've got just like a hurricane, like a flurry of thoughts in your head. Eat the snack, have this, do this, blah, 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 like eat, overeat, overeat, overeat. And the beautiful thing about the brain is that it can also unlearn to do that too. So here's how you do that. We'll talk about that in just a second. Same with Con Marie. So in the evening, I'm finding I'm really hungry. So I'm struggling with feeling full after a meal. So the first thing I want to say, and I'm going to answer your question. Hey, Teresa, she was just in the Facebook Live. How sweet of you to come over on this one too. Hello. So Con Marie's talking more about, it sounds like you're talking about actual hunger. And I just want to first say this point, and then I'll answer both of your questions at the same time. Are you really hungry or are you just craving? That's something I want you to answer if you can. But if it's an actual hunger pang, right? And you're actually, your mouth is watering, you actually are like physically very, very hungry. We'll talk about that in a sec. If it's actually a craving and it's just emotional and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to eat more because like you finish having dinner and then you just want to have, a bunch of fruit, or you want to have some crackers, or you want to have some popcorn, or whatever it is that you eat at night, that you want to eat at night, you might be able to answer the question, if I put another big plate of sauteed, water sauteed vegetables in front of you, would you eat it? Right? If I did that and you would eat it, then you're hungry. If I put that in front of you and you're like, I don't want that, I want to have crackers, then you're just craving, right? Because if you're actually hungry after that meal, you would totally eat the veggies and they would be amazing. So answer that question for me, Con Marie. If I put a big plate of water sauteed vegetables in front of you, would you eat them? Okay. So now let me answer the question as if it was just cravings. Okay. So if you're just having cravings at night, which it sounds like that's what Joyce is dealing with, this is a mental, emotional issue, right? That's emotional eating. So let's talk about the answer to that. The answer to emotional eating is to unlearn. Yeah, Joyce, for sure. Okay, so Conmarie says sometimes hungry, sometimes craving. Hard to know sometimes. Exactly. So I'm just going to say it's probably mostly cravings. Get out of my way. Move it. It's probably mostly cravings. And so here's the answer to that. I think I was saying this a little bit, but if you can learn how to snack and crave at night, you can unlearn how to snack and crave at night. And I'll give you a little bit of information on how to do that. I have hairs. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. I hit my mic, but my hairs are like tickling me. The answer is what we call in our coaching. We bring this up a lot with our private clients, and this is something that we practice with our private clients as well on a weekly basis. Allowing cravings. So, because you have taught yourself over how many years to crave and to answer that craving with snacking after a meal, your body your brain just thinks it's normal. It thinks that's necessary, and it thinks it's something it should keep doing. So as long as you keep answering the craving with food, your brain has learned that that's the answer. We have to, badger her until she gives us enough, until she gives us a snack, until she gives us food, and then we can relax. So your brain thinks it's important. It thinks it needs calories at that time of night. And the way to unlearn that is to reverse that process, to stop answering that craving with food, stop answering it with anything. And I'll tell you how to do that in a second. But if you've created that pattern over the years, until you can get that pattern to totally reverse, the cravings won't go away. Good news is the cravings will go away. That late night craving cycle, that pattern will definitely go away. But you have to get over the hump, so to speak, first of not answering with food. So let me explain how you do that. This is, Con Marie says, awesome, Kat. Yeah, not so awesome if you're the one whose live video is getting interrupted all the time. And we also have this one. Let's see if I can show her to you. There's Moo. She's always waiting in the wings. Okay, so here's how you reverse that process. It's called allowing cravings. We talk about this a lot in videos and in the Eat to Live Academy and in this monthly coaching membership I'm going to be starting up next year too. We're going to be talking all about this. This is the trick. This is the secret. It's not even a trick. It's just a skill called allowing cravings. So there's a difference between allowing cravings and resisting cravings. Resisting cravings is what you probably do now, which is willpower, right? You try to use willpower, not always successful, especially not at the end of the day, but we try to use willpower like, no, I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to eat it, right? Or we try to go for walks, or we try to exercise, or we knit, try to keep our hands busy. We chew gum, we brush our teeth, we drink water, so many different ways that we try to resist cravings. What that's doing is saying, hey, brain, it's cool if you keep pummeling me with this craving. I'm going to give you something totally unrelated and it's going to work some of the time. It's not going to work some of the other times because mostly it's based on willpower. And so it's not a solution to the craving, right? Like you have to think about it like a craving needs one thing to be satisfied, which is food. If you're answering a craving with walking or you're answering it with water, you're answering it with whatever, it's not going to go away. It's just going to keep pummeling you. Or it's going to be gone for that night. And then the next night it's going to come back either full force or the same force or whatever. It's just never going to go away. The thing that you want to be doing, the actual answer is called allowing cravings. And that's how you get them to go away over time. So the idea is that you allow that craving to happen to you. What does this look like? Well, it's super, super uncomfortable, right? Like when we're in the middle of a craving, it feels, at least for me, it feels like racing thoughts is probably the most uncomfortable part of a craving for me. It's my mouth is watering. It's I like have a yearning to eat. Kind of feels a little bit like true hunger, but it's not really. And mostly it's just that like desire, right? It's just like that crazy desire inside your head. The thoughts just keep going like, I could have this, or I should go to the gas station and get this, or I need to drive out and get these snacks, or what do I have in my house that I could make that would satisfy me? You like just have all these crazy like hurricane of thoughts going through your mind until you finally eat the food. You get that dopamine rush. And then it's like, I mean, it's not the same, but it's like shooting up heroin, right? Because like you have that craving and then you shoot up and the body goes, it gets that release. It's the same thing with having, not the same, but similar to having a craving for food. You take the food and you get that rush of the drug. You get that rush of the dopamine from your brain that finally signals, okay, now you can relax. Now we're going to make this craving go away. We're going to make that thought flurry stop, right? That's what happens when you eat the food. and the brain learns to do it again the next day. So instead of resisting that craving moment, you allow that moment to happen now. It's super uncomfortable. It's not very fun at the beginning because you have to go through it. You have to actually feel that craving happening to you, like overtaking you, and you have to let it pass. Now, spoiler alert, cravings pass faster if you allow them than if you keep struggling with them and resisting them. They will actually pass faster if you allow them, and then one day they will actually go away, disappear, be super manageable or not there at all. Now, what does this look like? So, I told you what resisting looks like. It's exercise, it's water, it's brushing teeth, it's chewing gum, it's eating something, it's eating celery in place of chips, which doesn't work, obviously. Or you allow. Allowing is when it's in a way, it's kind of like meditating. The first thing you want to do is but it happens like really fast. First thing you want to do is notice the thoughts. And this technique is a technique called the watcher. So it's like you're having all these crazy, crazy thoughts running through your head. You're like, I got to eat this thing. I have to go eat this. I want to order this from, and things are so easy to order to our house nowadays. It's so easy to just have that food delivered to you. So I just need to order the thing and it's going to come to my house really quick. All these thoughts are going through your head. So imagine me, I'm sitting here and I'm having these thoughts. I'm having these cravings. It's like visceral. I can feel it, just wanting to eat something. And then I sort of like go above my body and I go, hold on a sec. I can see myself craving right now. This is just a craving. I can see that this is a craving. It's as if you're watching your own brain instead of, I just realized I'm cutting my head off. It's as if you're watching your own brain have the thoughts instead of just being in the brain having the thoughts, if that makes sense. So instead of, like imagine yourself at a movie theater and you're watching a movie, say that movie is your craving. So instead of sitting there watching, instead of sitting there being in the movie, you're actually on screen. You're the person in the movie with the cravings. You're actually just sitting back watching it, like with some popcorn, just like no popcorn, actually. That's a bad metaphor. You're actually watching it without a snack and you're just like watching the screen going, wow, look at how crazy those thoughts are right now. I can really see that you're craving. This is pretty intense what you're going through, right? And if you can describe what's happening to you, you're watching it. If you're feeling it viscerally, you're just in it. Okay. So the first step is that you want to watch it. You want to realize that you're having a craving. And you can do that by seeing the thoughts and just stopping for a second, going, oh, this is a craving. I'm having a craving. This is just a craving. Then what you do is you allow it. So the allowing process is like, it's kind of like just being subjected to the feelings without trying to change anything. So you allow it to wash over you. You have the thoughts, you have the thought flurry, you accept it, you're okay with it, you feel, you have a watering mouth, you wish you had the thing, but you don't have it. You admit to yourself, kind of have these, it's the thought process, right? So this is all happening within your thoughts. You go, okay, I'm having a craving. It's totally okay to feel this. I am going to feel this. It's fine. It's not going to kill me. And it will go away. If you have faith, I have faith that it will go away if I just let this happen to me. I just be uncomfortable for a few moments. I promise you it will go away. And in most cases, it's less than a minute it will go away in, versus if you're fighting with it all night, resisting it, it's going to just keep pummeling you. Allowing is like, it's okay. I can have this craving, not going to kill me. You're not trying to make it go away. You're not like, when's it going to go away, right? Because that's resisting. You're letting it happen. You're letting those feelings wash over you. Could take up to 10 minutes. Sometimes it comes in waves throughout the night, but every time it hits you, you go, I can feel this. This is totally fine. It's okay. I can feel it. And then this is what happens sort of on the top down level. As you're, just imagine you're doing this for several weeks, right? Vincent, stop. She went lunch early. So imagine you're doing this for several weeks and these cravings keep coming to you. You keep allowing versus resisting. Maybe you don't do it 100% of the time. Maybe sometimes you actually give in, which is okay. It's not like you have to start over, but you keep practicing this allowing thing. After a while, and it's different for everybody, the cravings start to dissipate. They start to get easier to deal with until there's a point where totally manageable or completely disappear. That is how we do it. I just gave away the farm, but that's the answer to the question. So that's how you get over that night snacking. It's how you get over afternoon snacking or anything, right? It's how let's say you have a goal to exercise 3 times a week, but every time you get up to exercise, you don't want to. It's the same exact thing. You're having a craving to sleep. Allow that craving, but still get up, right? Just be uncomfortable, be tired for a bit. It's the same exact thing. But I hope you can see the difference between allowing and resisting. Okay, let me get to the questions. So, Teresa. Rose. Hi, Cheri. It's me, Rose, from way back when you started YouTube. Congratulations on babies and welcome back. Oh my gosh, Rose. It's so cool to see you. Thank you. I mean, yeah, like it's been a long journey, right? I just was thinking about this yesterday. I've had this YouTube channel for 8 years now, and it has definitely not always been healthy eating. I have left everything up on my channel so you guys can, so everyone can just see like where I came from. I will never watch those videos again, but you can. Big journey. Okay, so Teresa says, my cravings are habits. I habitually eat cereal around 7 to 8. I'm not hungry. It's my habit to crave. That is the first step, Teresa. It's just knowing that it's a habit and starting to allow that craving. Tosh says, registered. Yay! Tosh registered for the challenge. I'm so glad. Guys, we're talking about the 21-day challenge, 21-day Eat to Live Nutritarian Autumn 2020 challenge. We give you recipes, meal plans, grocery lists, everything you need to know to eat for 21 days. Super healthiest food on the planet. Plus, be satiated enough to not be starved all the time and to lose weight at the same time. We are experts at doing this. We've been doing it for a couple years now. Nancy, our newly ordained coach, certified coach for the Watering Mouth, is the one who also creates the challenges. She's insanely awesome at this. The recipes are so good every single time. You'll definitely come away with some favorites. And yeah, join us. There's a link to join pinned in the chat section. There's also a link in the description of this video. So make sure you sign up. Sign-ups are only available for the next couple of days. So make sure that you sign up before we close that down. So let's see. Charlene, hello. Oh my gosh, you might be one of my, most consistent commenters. You always comment right when I put a video up, and I so appreciate you being in this live video and always commenting. So good to see you, Charlene. And Teresa says, exactly, it's like an out-of-body experience is the way that you notice cravings happening to you instead of just having the cravings, right? And yeah, Evelyn says, during a fast, when cravings or false hunger happens, it is explained as always coming in waves. Then they really do go away. You're exactly right. I've never thought of explaining it in that way, but that's such a good way to explain it. I've done fasts before as well. I don't really recommend fasting, definitely not for weight loss, only for health. So you should be at your healthy weight before you ever fast. And Dr. Furman recommends the same thing. Because it sort of just messes with stuff and makes it more difficult. And then when you come off a fast, it's harder to, get back. It's better to learn how to lose weight in the way you're going to always keep the weight off than to do it quick like that. Okay. But exactly what you're saying is so correct. When you fast, when you just stop eating, you're certainly going to experience true hunger. You're certainly going to experience the need to take in calories, but it's actually not necessary, right? That's why fasting is possible. You can go for days without eating, like many days without eating, and it literally is all mental. So you can watch all that happening. You can have conversations with yourself about how you're not going to eat, blah, 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 but then it'll go away. And then it will come back a few hours later, and then the hunger goes away, etc. So, there's so many times in a fast where if you've gone for, say, 1 or 2 days without food, like you're doing a water fast or whatever, suddenly you're not hungry anymore and you have so much energy and you feel great. How is that explainable, right? It's because we don't have a huge biological need for the amount of food that we generally take in. We can go without food for a while. That's a really good example, Evelyn, of how that works. But I want to reiterate that I don't recommend fasting for weight loss, only for once you're kind of at your goal weight. Teresa, let it flow. And Tosh says, sitting with one's discomfort and cravings is for sure difficult. Good thing it's not forever. It's so true, Tosh. In our coaching, we always say discomfort is the currency to our dreams, meaning like discomfort is the only way you get to the thing that you want to get to. Like those big real goals that you want, like the stuff you really, really want in life, it's by being uncomfortable for a while. So I like to give the example of this business I've created. And I was just telling, who was it? Rose, about the fact that I've been doing this for 8 years. It's only been in the last 2 or 3 years that it's actually become an actual business that I'm earning a paycheck from, right? Like I actually contribute to my family now because of this business. But it took 8 years to get here. And that was so much trial and error and just working and working and working. But it was being discomfort, like it was being uncomfortable that created that. First, it was the discomfort of creating videos all the time without making any money. Then it was the discomfort of creating products that would make money and having to ask for that money. And now it's the discomfort of, having to come off of maternity leave and do this during COVID. And when things change, how do you keep the thing going? And like, you just want to rest, but you really feel like you should work, or having a cat meowing at you all the time and you have to deal with that. There's discomfort in every level to everything that you do. And getting through that discomfort is the thing that actually gets you to that next goal, actually gets you to the place that you want to be. Con Marie says, I will definitely try this. I'm glad. Let me know how it goes. Come back to this comment section, Con Marie, and let me know, because I would love to know how your work goes. But just understand, it's not going to happen tomorrow, right? Like it takes a while. It can take a few weeks, a few months for your cravings to settle down, depending on how intensely you've answered your cravings in the past, right? Like if you constantly hitting yourself with pizza every single day to answer those cravings, it's going to be harder than if you answered them with graham crackers or, something that's less junk food. I don't know. I'm not saying graham crackers are better than pizza. I'm just saying like it's not as impactful, I suppose, maybe. I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. Nicole asks, how much is the challenge? Great question. Super, super affordable. If you just click the link, you can learn everything you need to know on that sales page. But I promise you, it's very affordable and I'm totally not charging enough for what you get, because you get the recipes, you get the meal plans, the grocery lists, prep instructions. We tell you exactly when to make what. So each day has, okay, take the bananas out of the freezer, do this, make this, whatever. We try to keep those prep instructions really light. So you're only doing 15 to 20 minutes of cooking per day. And on many days, probably like even half the days, you don't have to do anything besides like make your salads or whatever. And on top of that, there's like at least 5 awesome bonuses, PDF bonuses of this mindset work, what is it? Like a refrigerator storage guide, a pantry, PDF, and all these, did I say the mindset one? Just all these awesome PDFs that come along with it. And Helen, hey Helen, says, are the recipes in this challenge newly developed by Nancy? Yes, ma'am. Every single challenge we do, brand new recipes. And it's the same format, but it's always new materials every time. So new recipes, new grocery lists, everything completely new. And this one is the autumn one. So you're going to see some nice autumn themed ingredients. Sorry for Con Marie, who's in Australia, I guess you must be in spring right now. But we do this based on the US season. So delicious stuff. That's all the questions I have here, you guys. I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer. I'm going to answer a couple other questions from someone they asked in Facebook, because I think they're really good questions. But if you guys have any other questions in here, let me know. So I am just coming off my maternity leave. I have some weight to lose myself. I want to lose 40 pounds. I will. Watch me. I'm going to be documenting this and sharing all with you guys in this new monthly membership that I'm going to create at the very beginning of next year called The Family. It's going to be called the Eat to Live Family. But I wanted to talk about the Eat to Live Academy for a second, because we always do a challenge for 21 days. And then immediately after the challenge, we open up registration for the Eat to Live Academy. I want to say that the Eat to Live is a question that always comes up after our challenge is, how do I keep doing this? And I actually have this question from the Facebook group that I wanted to read here. So this is from Isabel. She asks, I would love to learn the philosophy behind how the challenges are made. Well, she says she's so excited about the challenge. She loves them so much. It's so nice that she doesn't have to think about if I eat enough of this or not enough of that. But she wants to learn the philosophy behind how the challenges are made and figure out how to eat beyond or transition after the challenge is over, so I don't feel so lost. And I got to say, the most common question that we get after the challenge is over is, how do I keep doing this? I know Teresa's asked this question. And so that's actually because I got that question so much, I created the Eat to Live Academy. And so we only open the academy for registration right after the challenge is done, and it's only open for a few days. So I just want to explain this to you guys so you know. Aga says, Aga, hello, my dear. She says, those challenges are life-changing. The price is ridiculously low for what you get. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I completely agree. So you do a challenge, right? You get all the meal plans, all the grocery lists, all the recipes, tell you exactly what to eat, new recipes every time. You get all this wonderful support. And then you're like, okay, but how do I do this afterwards? How do I keep going? Get this question multiple times, like so many times after every single challenge. So I created the Eat to Live Academy, which is an 8-week kind of like a class, so to speak, about how to do this mindset stuff. So the stuff I was talking about earlier, that's part of it. We're talking about allowing cravings. That's one of the things you learn in the academy. There's lots of other tools in the academy about weight loss and sticking to healthy eating, because that's the challenge, right? It's like, how do we stick to our healthy eating for the rest of our life or stick to our weight loss for the rest of our life? So what happened was, because I'm a private coach, and then I also have my other coaches, Nancy and Karen, and we're all certified from the Life Coach School, which gives you these amazing, amazing tools for how to stay consistent. When I first started learning these tools from the Life Coach School, changed my life. It's how I went from, and you'll see this in previous videos, I don't know how to stick to healthy eating. I don't feel disciplined. I don't know how to be disciplined. I'm always binging. I don't know why I'm binging. I can't stop. To now, I'm like, I'm going to lose 40 pounds. It's not going to be a problem. I'm done with, pregnancy and all this, and I can lose the weight easy and I have no issues with it. It's how I went from thinking I was a binge eater, food addict, stuck in this pattern forever, to done with that drama, right? So we used these tools. I wanted to see if they worked first. So I used them on myself first. Took about a year to kind of get in the place where I felt super confident that I could lose the weight and keep the weight off forever. And then I was like, oh, I got to teach this stuff. So I started putting that into my private coaching. I started coaching people privately with those tools. And then Karen started coaching for me. Nancy started coaching for me so I could do maternity leave and stuff. But right before I did maternity leave, I created the Eat to Live Academy. Because what happened was I kept coaching people. I'd get on, I'd have tons of clients, and every time I would get on a call with them, the first 3, 4, 5, 6 calls were always the same thing. I was always saying the same tools, the same messages to get people up to speed. So for instance, allowing cravings, I spent probably 20, 25 minutes explaining what allowing cravings was to you. Now imagine I've explained that to each and every single client I've ever had in the beginning of a private coaching relationship each time. So they know how to use that tool. And then I'll explain all these other tools to them. And then, only then, could we finally get to the place where we would really dig into their mind and what was happening with them on a daily basis. And I thought to myself, this isn't, it's amazing. These tools are wonderful, but I could just create a digital course to explain all these tools. And then we could go into private coaching where we really dig into their specific issues and what's happening every week. So I created the academy because I was like, I want to be able to have a place where I can explain these fully, make materials, have worksheets and videos and all these things to explain all this stuff without having to repeat myself a million times. And then I can reach more people with it. And so the reason I created the academy was I kept getting that question, what do I do when the challenge is done? How do I keep going? It's 100% mindset, my friend. It is 100% mindset. It's not what do I eat or what do I make or anything like that. It's just how do I call up the discipline and the motivation to do it when I don't feel like it. The Eat to Live Academy answers that question. It's 8 weeks of video modules and worksheets and PDF handouts and things like this that will help you understand exactly how you do this for life. And so I just want to make that pitch because we always open the challenges up for registration, then we do the challenges, and then we open up the academy for registration right after that. And I want you to know that that's available for you, and it's going to be opening in just 3 weeks from next week, right? After the challenge is done, the academy is going to open up. So I want you guys to consider getting in on the academy too. If you are on my email list already, you're going to hear all about it. So you don't have to worry about that. So I just wanted to say that. Keep an eye out. Joyce says, why do I feel cold on this diet? I don't know. Some people, I know from Ayurveda, which is like an ancient, medicinal practice or whatever, it's like one of the oldest medicinal systems in the world, like traditional Chinese medicine. But Ayurveda would say eating a lot of smoothies and salads would do that to you. It's better to kind of have warming foods like warming spices and a lot of stir fries and actual warm dishes that could have something to do with it. Other than that, I don't know. If anyone has any thoughts on this, let me know. I wonder if it's an emotional thing as well, because it's a lot of salads and a lot of smoothies and things like that, and you feel like you want to have that warm food. Do you miss warm foods when you're doing it? Do you happen to eat a lot of warm foods during the days? Let me know. Yeah, spring in Australia. That's right. One of my best friends lives in New Zealand, so I'm always like trying to figure out what season it is and what time of the day it is when she's calling. I called her the other day at 11 a.m. and it was like 6 a.m. her time, and she was like, I'm like, how are you? She's like, well, I just woke up. I'm like, oh, sorry. Jeff says my wife won't let me have cravings. I'm sure you're still having the cravings, but she won't let you have junk is probably go wife. And Nicole, how much is the challenge? Check out the link. Nicole, go to the link for the sales page and you'll learn all the details you need to know. Super, super affordable. As Aga says, the price is ridiculously low for what you get, which I totally agree with. Okay, if there's no any other questions, I'm just going to respond to some of these questions that Isabel had in the Facebook group, and then I'm going to head out. So she says, how do you manage eating nutritarian while being so busy and sleep deprived? When I get woken up by one of our kids, which happens more often than not, and I'm tired, I have the hardest time sticking to a nutritarian diet as a, like as a busy mom or whatever. So I love this question. And I was just talking about this in the Facebook video that I just did a little bit ago too. I love this question because it speaks to all mindset. This is another 100% mindset question. When you're so busy and sleep deprived, as if having a lot of things to do and if getting a little amount of sleep meant that you couldn't eat healthy, right? That's the thing that your brain is telling you, that because I'm tired and because I have a lot of things to do that it's impossible for me to eat healthy. So I like to give this example. I've given this on YouTube before, and I just did it in my Facebook group. So if you've heard this before, pardon the expression, the example, but it's nice to hear things over and over again sometimes to keep them in your mind. If you had a really tough day, right? Like the kids had you up all night, you were super tired, you had maybe a tough day at work, or you come home, or just you had a rough day and you had so many things to do. Maybe you're carting the kids all over the place, you had to get groceries or whatever. And you come home and you don't have a lot of time and you're just like, I don't want to make a salad right now, or I don't have anything prepared. I don't want to make anything. First thing I want to say is that eat to live foods are the fastest food possible. So imagine this. You take an apple, you wash it under your sink, and you go like that, right? You've just had some eat to live food. We don't want to be just eating apples all the time, but it's a fallacy to think that eat to live food isn't fast, right? You could take that hunger, probably toxic hunger feeling, and get rid of it just by having an apple real quick, or a bunch of carrots, right? Got carrots in your fridge. Take 3 of those and eat those. You're going to be full really soon, I promise you. At least you can get rid of those hunger pangs. Eat to live food is the fastest food on the planet because all you have to do is wash it and put it in your mouth and chew, right? Because you're probably thinking there's a lot of effort required, right? Like I have to chop salad, I have to this, that, I have to this, that. If you have a cucumber in your fridge, you can just take a bite of a cucumber, right? So fast, so easy, and like almost no calories. And you can get really full just eating carrots and cucumber. Like, okay, let's imagine a meal like this. You got an avocado, you have 2 big carrots, and you've got a cucumber. That's a meal, right? Get a spoon and just bite the cucumber and the carrot. You've had your dinner. Call it a day. Fastest food ever, right? It's in your fridge already. Just make sure your fridge has those things in it, or have a banana or have an apple, right? So there's no excuse about the amount of time that it takes to prepare nutritarian food because it's so easy to eat those things. But what we're actually talking about here is not how fast it is to eat those foods. It's the mental decision to eat those foods over something that seems easier and is actually what you're craving, right? Like some bread or recently I've been eating way too many whole wheat pitas with peanut butter and jelly on them because they're just faster, when really what it is I just don't want to pull out the carrots that are literally in my fridge right now, right? I don't want to eat the carrots. I want to have the comforting dopamine rush from peanut butter and jelly thing, right? So the question we're actually asking ourselves is not, how do I do this when I'm so busy and tired? Because that sounds like a fact. It sounds like a circumstance that like you just don't have any energy. So here's the thing that I always say in my videos is, so you've got this really busy day, you feel like you really don't have the energy to make anything, which I just debunked that, right? But let's just say I came over to your house at that particular moment and I said, I'm going to give you $50,000 if you make a salad right now and you eat it. What would you do? You would make a salad and you would eat it. You'd call up that energy from somewhere. Even sleep deprived and tired and busy, you would call up the energy and you would figure out how to make a salad, and you would just do that because $50,000 is on the line, right? The only thing that changed in those two examples was your thought. The first thought was, I'm busy and sleep deprived and I don't want to. The second thought was, hey, there's $50,000 in this. I'm going to find that energy somewhere and I'm going to make that. Those were just thoughts. Now, there's no way I'm coming to your house and giving you 50 grand to make a salad, right? So it's a fallacy. It would never happen anyways, but you could call up that energy if you needed to. That's the whole point. So the point is when you have the thought, I'm too tired, I'm too busy, whatever, you pick a different thought and you go, that's BS. I'm not too tired, because if Cheri offered me a bunch of money, or here's another one. Say you're super, super tired and busy and hungry, and then all of a sudden your kid gets hurt or something and you got to go to the ER and you have to take care of them. You're not eating for another 8 hours because you have to run out the door. You got to sit in the waiting room. You got to be seen by the doctors, whatever. You might be hungry during that time period, but you can certainly go without the food, right? It's just a change in thought that makes it so that you don't choose the wrong thing, right? You can go that whole time without eating if you need to. No problem. You might be hungry and it might be a little uncomfortable, but you can do that. And so it's choosing that discomfort over that alternative, right? It's choosing to be uncomfortable rather than eating the convenience foods, right? And so that's kind of what we talk about a little bit with allowing cravings and allowing those feelings. You can be tired if you want and still make a salad. It's just about a choice of thought. So it's 100% this idea we say in our coaching that our thoughts are creating our results. The thought that you're too tired to make a salad or you're too tired to eat nutritarian is a fallacy. It's not a true thought, because you could eat a carrot and an apple and an avocado and call it a day and be fine. Could be plenty of food. You could eat 3 carrots and 2 apples and a full avocado, and then you would be fine for hours, right? And so it's just choosing that, to be in that discomfort for a moment. Jeff says, I like carrots. Me too. They're so good. Geraldine, hi Geraldine, says, hi Joyce, this is not at all an uncommon experience apparently. I've wondered if it has to do with the much lower fat level. Let's see what we're responding to. Is it the craving thing? Geraldine, no, it's not the lower fat level, because we wouldn't be having a lower fat level necessarily. It's not the starch solution, right? We should be eating fat. So if you feel like you're not having enough fat, you can certainly up the amount of fat that you eat. There's no recommendation for how much fat to eat. So feel free to have nuts and seeds and avocados and things like that. Just pull back a little bit, maybe on some beans or some of the fruit or whatever to make up for that. And then you'll certainly get enough fat. It's literally just a craving issue. Another thing could be that you're not eating enough food during the day and you're actually hungry, which is what we talked about earlier in this video, that it's probably not a hunger issue. But if it is an actual hunger issue, you know that because if I put a huge steaming bowl of water sauteed vegetables in front of you, if you would eat that, then you would truly be hungry. If you would say, no, I want crackers instead, that's going to be more satiating, or no, I want nuts and seeds instead, that will be more satiating. That's a cravings issue, because you can eat that big, huge bowl of no fat vegetables, get very full and be just fine for that night. And that's how you know. Oh, cold during fat loss. Sorry. I get it. Okay. It's about being cold due to fat loss. Yeah, I was thinking that, I had like a little thought of that in my head, but I forgot to mention that. could be because you're losing weight. I don't know if you are losing a lot of weight. Something to think about. I know that when I get closer to my goal weight, I do get colder and colder. So Kim says the same thing. Yep. I feel colder because I have lost some weight on this diet. I also have heard Dr. Furman talk about this happening. Yeah. And Geraldine says, yes, that's so obvious too, isn't it? We're experiencing that too. Same thing. Yeah. Jeff says he has a honeydew melon waiting for him. I wish I had one too. And Con Marie says you eat carrots and apples every day. Perfect. So you know all about fast food, don't you? So yeah, I'm gonna agree with Kim and possibly and Geraldine as well that it could just be the weight loss thing if you are losing weight. Joyce. Yeah, okay, so that's all the questions. And Isabel had asked about protein as well. She says, how do you make sure you have enough protein to fuel you, but still try to get in shape, build muscles, and lose weight? So I want to say that the protein question comes up a lot on this diet lifestyle because people feel that they need more protein than they're getting, which is not true. This lifestyle, if you follow it the right way and you're eating beans and nuts and seeds and things like that, as well as some fruit and tons of greens and veggies, low calorie, high nutrient veggies, then the protein is automatically fine as long as you're eating enough calories for your body mass. You'll get plenty of protein to fuel you. As I was saying on the other video, if you're a bodybuilder, that's a different story. You're going to want to add some protein, but it's not the healthiest lifestyle because extra protein has been linked with, cancers and less lifespan and health span and things like that. So something to consider. You can read more about that in Dr. Furman's writings. But if we're just a regular person, just trying to lose weight and get in shape, it's enough to eat the nutritarian diet, which you will automatically get a wonderful protocol for that on the challenges. That's why we create the challenges, to teach you how much to eat of what and what ratios so that you feel full and you lose weight and all that. And then if you want to build muscle, just start doing a little bit of weight training every week with some dumbbells or machines at the gym, or you can do HIIT training at home or whatever. Lots of different ways to build muscle. And follow one of our challenges because we have it all laid out for you. So if you're interested in the challenge, 21-day challenge, we're starting another one on Monday. Today is Tuesday, so it's a week from Monday. And this is plenty of time for you to read all the materials, go grocery shopping, get your stuff ready to go, and prep the foods that you need to prep in advance, which we give you all those instructions in the challenge. So that's open for registration right now. Only going to be open for another couple of days. And then we're going to shut down registration and we're going to focus on the challengers who are ready to go. So make sure you get in on that now if you're interested. It's always new recipes every time we do one of these. Our amazing recipe creator, Nancy, who's also Coach Nancy now, and she's doing a phenomenal job. I'm so excited to have her on board. She's taken on so many clients in this first week. It's ridiculous. She creates the challenges every time, and we make all new recipes, all new meal plans and grocery lists every time. So this is a brand new challenge no one's ever done before, and we're all going to do it together starting on Monday. So there's a link pinned in the chat. There's a link in the description as well, and you can get in on our challenge with us. We would love to have you in there. The next one isn't going to be until January, so make sure you get in on this while you can. Jeff asks, what's your opinion on whole grains? My opinion on whole grains is the same as Dr. Furman's, that they're totally fine to eat, but just in moderation. So you want to kind of keep them to about a cup or less per day. It depends on the person as well. Let me grab a drink of water real quick. If you're just starting off on your journey and you have a history of sort of addictive food tendencies, grains can be a tough thing to eat because we tend to overeat on them. They tend to be the more comforting foods. The reason that grains and starches as well are more comforting is because they're lower nutrient, higher calorie. So you get more bang for your buck there. Same thing with eating nuts and seeds plain by themselves in a snack or whatever. So they can be something that you maybe want to avoid in the beginning if you have those tendencies. Like I used to be a big binge eater, like massive binge eater. And I had to I decided to sort of avoid grains and things like that for a while because I would just overeat on them. And you don't need them also. That's another thing Dr. Furman has said many times is that grains are not necessary. They're great source of protein and nutrients and things, but compared to green vegetables, other low calorie, high nutrient vegetables, and then also beans and fruits and things like that, grains really They're not necessary. You want to have those other things before you would have grains. So you don't have to have them at all. And in fact, for some people, it's a good idea to cut them out for a while. We try to keep our challenges pretty low grain and pretty low starch. I know we have a little bit more starch on this than normal just because it's the autumn one. But yeah, I mean, feel free to eat them. They're super healthful food, but you don't want to be eating them to the exclusion of other things. And your number one priority should always be greens and high nutrient, low calorie vegetables like the G bombs, right? That should be your first priority. And once you've kind of gotten that taken care of during the day, hopefully if you're having the right amount of them, you're having enough of them, you won't need grains anyways. Grains tend to be satiating from an emotional standpoint. So kind of think about that, right? Like if you want grains and you think they're necessary because they satiate you, then that's something to look at. However, this question is coming from a man. So you have a higher caloric need than a woman would. So we do tend to say for guys, have a cup or two per day if you need more food. If you need to lose weight, though, it might be something to cut out for a while. Or you could have like 1 cup and, just have that be it, but make sure you get tons and tons and tons of other G bombs during the day. So you keep that nutrient density very high and the calories very low to lose the weight. But if you're at your healthy weight, have at it. Don't worry about having grains. They're really good for you. Just don't eat them to the exclusion of other high nutrient produce and beans. Okay. That's it. That's it, guys. Got nothing else. And how many other questions here from you guys? If you have any other questions, ask them real quick because I'm going to wrap up here. Jeff, how much should I eat? Awesome question. So first of all, mushrooms should always be cooked. We should have them every day, and you only need this much, the size of your thumb. This is the minimum, but you don't need any more than that. You can eat more. Shouldn't be eating a ton of them, right? Because we don't want to be eating a ton of anything except for maybe greens and the vegetables. But make sure you cook them. You only have to have the 1 ounce size of your thumb. Okay. You're welcome, Con-Marie. I'm so glad to see you. And everybody that came on, there's a lot of you on this call right now. I'm so excited to see all of you. And I hope to see you in the 21-day challenge coming up, starting on Monday. So get in on this. There's a link in the description. There's a link pinned in this chat. I want to see you guys in that challenge. It's going to be super awesome. So much fun. 21 days of recipes, meal plans, grocery lists, and tons of other PDFs all about mindset, produce storage, my favorite products, etc. Really, really great value. Hope you guys can join in. You're welcome, Jeff. Great questions. You guys asked some really awesome questions today. I love being with you. Thanks for spending your evening or mid-afternoon with me. And I am going to be back now. Geraldine says, good to see you back, Cheri. Karen and Nancy have been great too. I'm so glad. I got so lucky hiring these people, you guys, the people I work with. Oh my gosh. What an amazing team I put together. These women are incredible. So I'm glad to see that you enjoyed them as well. But I will be back now a lot more in at least 2 videos a month. Karen and Nancy are going to be doing their coaching videos as well. If you guys are interested in private coaching, you can sign up for free 30-minute mini sessions with them if you want to get to know more about that. But I want a quick pitch. Do the challenge with us. It's going to be super awesome, but please consider signing up for the Eat to Live Academy afterwards as well. It is the place to learn all this mindset stuff in an 8-week amazing, beautifully designed course in Kajabi, which is the program that we use to house the academy. So easy to go through and learn all the things you need to learn to give you a nice foundation and baseline from where you can start to grow into consistency, weight loss, and doing this for life instead of just in one-off challenges all the time. This is how you keep going, learning these tools. So consider joining the academy. It will be opening right after the challenge is done. And registration is only going to be open for a little bit, so you have to get in on that when it's open. And then look out for the Eat to Live family starting next year at some point, hopefully early in the year. It's going to be a monthly membership just like this with what we're doing right now, Q&As and actual coaching on your specific issues. So look out for that too. But right now, you got the challenge, you got the academy, and I'd love to see you in both. In the academy, you get me and Karen and Nancy as well in the Facebook group, and we will coach you on specific issues as well. So Diana, you're welcome. It's great to see you here too. Thank you so much. And just thank you to everybody. I hope to see you in the offerings coming up soon. Otherwise, I'll see you in our next live videos and on YouTube. I hope to see you in the comment section. And just come back and keep doing the work, keep practicing all the things, and we'll get there together. And watch me, because I'm about to lose 40 pounds and it's going to be super awesome. I'm going to tell you exactly how I do it. That's going to be available in the family when I release it next year. Okay, guys, happy Tuesday. I love you all. I'm sending you all awesome health vibes, and we're just going to keep rocking this thing together. Okay, have a good Tuesday. Moo says goodbye, Vincent says goodbye, and I say goodbye. So see you soon. Bye. Okay.